tried to fit this in on the last video, and I apologize because I wasn't really paying attention and I ran out of time. So the purpose of this video is just to do that last section of the practice summative, which had to do with similar solids. So if you were watching the end of the previous video, we were talking about problem number 22 and looking to see if those two cones were similar. So we were comparing the radius to the height. And then this is about where I got cut off. I was also comparing it to the slant height. So we just wanted to make sure that everything is proportional. So we've got the small cone and we've got the large cone. So the radius of the small one was 9, the height was 12, and the slant was 15. And on the large one, the radius was 15, the height was 20, and the slant height was 25. So we just want to make sure that all of that is in proportion. So I'm actually I'm looking at these numbers. I know they're all divisible by in this case 5 and in this case 3. So I'm going to reduce everything. So I'm going to change the color of my pen so you can see they're reducing. This is going to reduce, they all have 5 as a factor, so this is going to reduce to 3, 4, and 5. And then these I'll reduce by 3 as a factor, and that's going to reduce to 3, 4, and 5. So these sides are in proportion to these sides, so therefore this is similar. The problems, however, that most people were asking me about when they were working on this the other day were number 23 and 24. And people were asking on number 23 about the dimensions that might have been missing, and on number 24 they were saying, but we don't know how to find the surface area of a cone. So you really don't have to find the surface area of the cone, and you don't need to know those individual dimensions. So how can that be? It tells us that the solids are similar. So I'm going to start with number 23, which has I'm not going to try to draw the pictures, but it has the rectangular prisms, and it tells me what the volume is. So it's asking for the volume of the new figure. So on the first one, it tells me that the volume of the bigger one is 3,160, and then I'm trying to find the volume of the smaller one. And I'm going to not do labels just for the purposes of working with it. And so I'm trying to find this one. So I'm going to take you back to something we did with similarity and scale factor in our last unit when we were working with similar figures. So we learned that if we had let's just say that we have a rectangle, we've got a small one and then we've got a bigger one, and when we were looking to see if they were similar, we knew that the scale factor, I'm going to call this 10 and 6, and we knew that the scale factor, this would obviously be 12. The scale factor applied to the sides, so times 2 on each case. But then in our last unit, we started to talk about the area of these figures, and we said that this area is going to be 10 times 6, which is 60. This area is going to be 12 times 20, which is 240. So even though my scale factor, which applies to the sides, was times 2, going from 60 to 240 is times 4. So we learned that in area, it's times the scale factor squared, because area is a square measurement. So when we were working with shapes like this, that it was easy to find the area of the old one and the area of the new one, that's when we discovered this relationship. And we also at that time briefly talked about, well, what if we are talking about volume? So if I added, made this a prism instead of just a rectangle, and I made this a prism, and let's say that I put the height here as 2, this height would be 4, because it's similar, so everything is getting multiplied times 2. So my small volume would be 10 times 6 times 2, which is 120. My large volume would be 12 times 20 times 4, which is 960. So from here to here, is actually times 8. So if you notice the relationship between times 8 and times 2, this is the scale factor, which applies to the sides, cubed, because volume is a cubic measurement. So keeping all of that in mind, let's go back to problem number 23. If my big volume is 3,160, then my small volume is going to have to be divided by the scale factor cubed, because volume is a cubic measurement. So if I look at those two shapes in problem number 23, I see that my scale factor is 2/3, but my volume is going to be times 2/3 cubed. So that's going to give me my volume of my smaller figure, which is 936.3 feet cubed. I'm going to go back to this for just a second. Remembering what we're doing with exponents, this is going to be 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3. So 2/3 cubed is 8/27. So I multiply 8/27 times 3,160 and get this answer. So then let's look at problem number 24 with the same idea, except 24 is about the surface area. So the first thing that I want to do is find the scale factor. So I know the height of both of those figures, so I'm going from 15 to 12. So my scale factor is going to be times 12/15. And I just always remember that, because if I'm going from the larger one to the smaller one, I have to multiply times a number less than 1. I'm going to use these numbers in some way, so it's going to be times 12/15, which is equal to 4/5. Double check my math there. So if it tells me that the surface area of the first one is 560, I know that I'm going to multiply that by the the scale factor. But we're talking about surface area, which is a square measurement, so I'm going to square that. So I get 560 times 16/25, which equals 358.4 feet squared. So that's how you do problem number 23 and number 24 without knowing all of the dimensions and without knowing how to find the surface area of a cone. We're just applying what we know about scale factor. I will put a problem or two like this on your summative, but these are going to be your advanced questions. So if you're still not fully confident with it, please do not let that stress you. Okay, please call me on Microsoft Teams if you have any questions. I should be around most of the day. I know that some of you have emailed me saying I've got questions, but then when I've emailed you back to say let's get on Microsoft Teams, we have not connected. So if you have questions, let's please make sure that we connect today. Okay, thanks.